Hey guys, welcome back to Vintage Vibes. I hope you guys are doing great. This is Friday night, and I am coming on here with a walkthrough video of these book club reader folios that I made, and also I'm going to do a tutorial on the end of this video. Hopefully I can work that out. And but anyway, these are great for craft fairs, your book club get together, your friends, your family, your teacher gifts or parties or whatever you can want to do with them. Now this is not my original idea. I got this from Amber from Lyric Lovers Craft. She has an awesome tutorial also, and she's a lot, faster than me and different things. It may be easier to explain. I'm not real good at tutorials yet because I don't do a lot of tutorials, but I don't mind, and I want to try. But this is just how I make it, okay? I'm always extra. I like to make it a little bit different than what other people do. But it's real super fun and easy and adorable, and I love making them this week. And but anyway, we're gonna jump into it so it don't get very long, and I'm gonna try to show you the things that I use and what you can use, or if you don't have this, you can use what you have in your stash. Okay, so let's jump in and get started on these folios. They're so cute, and you can make these. It doesn't even have to be about books. It can be about other things. Okay, now so anyway, this one here is so cute. I did use my Scrap Cabin seam binding, and everybody, it's on Etsy, and everybody I know uses this, most people. And in a minute I'll tell you all the things, okay? But I'm going to show you. I'm just going to kind of walk you through this little paper clips. These are on Amazon. These little book paper clips are so cute, okay? And also these are going to come with a pen, but I haven't decided if I want to make my pen, because I don't think I have any pen gear things to make some with yet. You have to go to Walmart and get those. Or they have some cute book club pens, like, I say book club, but they have books on them. And Amazon I seen the other day, they're not too terribly pricey, so I don't know if I'm going to get those closer to my craft fair or what I'm going to do. But anyway, so this is the folio. I just had this little cut apart, and I punched that out. Now this, okay, I didn't bring this in here with me, but it's just a die cut that I have that is this size, and it fit this perfect, and I had to die cut it, and I think that's the only thing. I'm going to show you all that in a minute, but let's just go through them. Now this is how I made mine. It's similar to hers. The only difference in mine, was the paper and some of the things and the bands and different. But I did put gussets on mine. Now, she just wrapped hers. I put gussets. That's me. But I did use these little pads because I've had these for a while in my stash, and I've been wanting to make some stuff to use them, and these turned out perfect to fit. Okay, so and then I put this little bookmark over here, and in a minute I'm going to show you my paper collection. And I got these little coin envelopes, okay, from the Dollar Tree, and I had this stamp in my stash. It's called Reasons to Smile, and I put that over there, and I made my own reading list. I love that. I made me a little reading list, and it's like a little book you can journal on or whatever. And I made my own journal cards with my own little fonts on them, the little quotes or sayings. I put, now this paper come from a different paper pad. This one did, and I think it's from the Sweet Melody collection that I got from Joann's. But it kind of went with this, and I said, well, I'm going to use that so they could have something to journal on. Okay, that was really pretty. And then they can like put a picture of their favorite thing or journal, whatever, something about books. But then they can journal on that, whatever. And then I'll put this cute little pocket here. And now this right here, it says books are a source of endless fascination. I got these from Vintage Book Quotes, printables and it's called the VELLICHORIUM. I'm gonna put it in the description. I may not even be saying that right. Probably not saying it right, but and I left this little pocket open, and I just clipped the run to the corner here, and I've used my envelope punch here, and I just left this open because it's easier to get it in and out of. Okay, and just put that back there. And this is really pretty. I love the little bookmark, and put the little eyelets. I had enough of these in my stash. And this is, and I put the 110-pound cardstock in between my paper. Okay, and then and I put my band around. Now she put her band, she made a belly band to go over hers, and I haven't had good luck with selling those in the past at my craft fair. People just tend to not want to take those belly bands off where I live. That don't mean that they won't do it, but I just found it's easier. When I went back and redid all my other ones one year, that I made some little belly band notebooks, and I put Velcro on them, they loved them. But for some reason, they didn't want to slide it. But I come up with another way to do it, okay? And then I just put this little card on the back over this ribbon, because I put the stuff, but you'll see, I don't want to take up too much time. But these turned out to be really, really cute. So I made 6. And I'm going to do one on camera with you. But I'm going to end up making 10 total. But I'm just going to do, I made 6 this last couple days. And then I said, well, and I bought a coffee stamp from Amazon. It hasn't come in. It's literally been the 11th when I ordered it. And it was supposed to come like yesterday. It didn't even show up. So, hasn't gotten here yet, and we don't know what's happened to it. But look at this paper. This paper is so cute. Okay, I just love the little books and everything on here. And I put a different little band on this one. I'm just going to kind of flip through them. And most of the inside guts are the same, except for you might see different color seam bindings, different word. This one says the world was hers for the reading. But these cards are the same, but some of your papers are a little different. Okay, and then that's the back of that one. Okay, all right, and then I'll put that one back there for a minute. Okay, so let me put this one to the side. And I have another one that has a different, it's similar to the one I just showed you, but it has a different cut apart thing on the front of it. Okay, all right, and I scalloped it. And the other one, I don't think I pointed that out to you, but this one has the little corner punch thing that I used on that one. So that one was different. Okay, on this one, and then it says books are the gateway to the world, and it has the same little things, the same bookmark. And I had this little stamp that I stamped, but no, I bought some stamps that had coffee things on it because my Dollar Tree ones didn't work, and they haven't showed up. But anyway, so that's the back of that one. They're so sweet. These are so cute. Okay, and then I made this one, and it's really cute. It has a little different seam binding, and it says cafe, enjoy this moment. And I put a different little banding strip on there. And this one says a good book is an event in my life. And that's the same. It just has the different seam binding that matches the back. And that's on the back. It says you're so lovely. So cute. Okay. And then I have another one that is like this, that has a different color, the seam binding. And it says the story of today, and I did the little corners on that one, and it's really cute. And it says books are the keys to wisdom's treasure. And yes, I can make these, but I just literally didn't have time to fool with that, so I just found some that were like $1.99, like it was just dirt cheap. Okay, and then you got this same little bookmark. It's so cute. Just kind of keep it simple, keep it fun. So you can mass produce them, make it, you know, a lot of them for your craft fairs or whatever you want to do with them. And then this is the last one that I have made. It's really, really cute. And I'm going to try to do this to show you like fast, but not too fast, hopefully. But this paper is so pretty, y'all. I love this paper. It's so pretty. But all these things, I'll have them linked below where they are from. But anyway, this paper is so cute. But, you know, the different seam bind and the different, you know, piece of paper. But it says, books are the light by which we navigate. So really, really cute. Okay. So we're going to get started on the tutorial. Okay. Now I got all my things pulled, and I'm hoping that, I won't take 10 years to show y'all. Okay. So anyway, the punch that I used is this one for my bookmark. Okay. This is the one that I have, that I use. Okay. And of course, my scrap cabinet, I've already got that pulled for what I'm going to need. And I use the Dollar Tree coin envelopes, the small ones. Okay. And I already have one done for this. I was just going to show y'all those. Okay. And then I used this for my eyelets. This is the We Are Memory Keepers hole puncher, and it's an eyelet setter too on it. These are really nice to have. Okay. And then on my, and these are my eyelets that I have, just a bunch of different sizes in this little thing. Okay, you just get them. You can, most of mine I got from scrapbook.com like 3 years ago or something. And then my stamp set that I used was SHIMELLE's Reason to Smile, and this was one of those I got from Joann's, I think, for $1. And this is American Crafts, and I use STAZ on ink, and I use STAZ on cleaner to get it off. Okay, because you got to have this to get this ink off of these stamps. Now, don't get it all the way off. It does a pretty good job, but it doesn't matter. It won't hurt them. But this is what I use. And then I use my corner rounders. That's the We Are Memory Keeper. And then I have, this is the little one for the corner things that I punched. This is a KW Trio 3-way corner punch, and I think I got this on Amazon. I do believe. And it's been a minute since I got that. Okay. And also the Dollar Tree notebooks. You're going to need one of those. And they're real easy, and I'm going to show you, like, when you pull them apart. Now, let me tell you what happens. Sometimes I've noticed that a couple of the sheets will be loose, and all I do is I just pull off a couple. That's it. Okay, off the tops of them, because I don't want that to come apart while I make somebody a product. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled them off of these. So, but that's what you get. You get 3 in a pack, and I've already got the other one prepped for the make of this video. And I hear Brad's phone going off over there. He's took off to the other room. But anyway, but yeah, you're gonna need that, and of course the scoreboard and all. But I'm gonna show you the paper that I've used really quick, and then we're gonna get started. I've got all my things already ready and prepped and ready to go for that, and I've even got my band cut and ready. I think I do believe, yeah, okay. So anyway, I got all that, push that to the side, and I got my score tape on my notebook back, and I've already done it, okay, for that. But this is the paper we're going to be making, this one right here. And this is called Perfectly Splendid. This is DCWV. I got this from Joann's, like, I don't know, it's probably been 2 years. I don't know. It's on one of my haul videos, I'm sure. It's been a minute. But this is beautiful paper. And it worked out perfect. And I have some other book paper that I'm going to get to. But when I saw I had this in this paper pad, I thought, this is pretty. This is really going to be pretty to do for this project. So that's what we're going to use, is that sheet. And it only takes one of these pieces of paper. Okay. Now, and those bookmarks, like, y'all, I made those bookmarks from this sheet right here. I made those bookmarks from this section right through here. Okay, I made some bookmarks from that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then that one band strip is from this piece right here. Okay. So yeah, just look at your stuff, and yeah, there's all kinds of things that you can do and think about and explore and make. Okay, so and you're gonna need some double-sided adhesive, of course, if you want to use that. Some people just use glue. I got my old art, and I need to clean this little thing. I can't find another one like, but this one I love. You can tell because I get so much glue on it. It's awful. I have to keep working on that. But my envelope punch is what I use for make my little notches in my pockets. Okay, so I've had that thing for a long time too. Well, I say a long time, 2 or 3 years, but this is my favorite trimmer. It's the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. I use it for everything. And you gotta watch them out. Sometimes you get fuzzies in your thing. You know, you just have to kind of keep an eye on your fuzzies in your little track. And then change your blades, especially when you can tell when your stuff starts getting kind of dull. And then your glue, like I use my Sweet Petunia to do my wet glue with, because it just makes it so much nicer and so much easier for the glue to come out of that thing. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this in a hopefully a hurriedly fashion, and this video won't be too long. Okay, now so I've got mine, my piece of paper, my pattern paper, and that's what this is. And you got to cut this at 12 inches wide. Just keep this whole sheet, but I take off a little slither off of the side. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to figure out why I did that for a reason, and I'm not sure, because I'm so crazy, y'all can't pay no attention to me. But anyway, we're going to cut it. We're going to leave it at 12, and the length is going to be 8 1/8 long. Okay, so you're going to cut that at 8 1/8. Okay, and you're going to cut that off, and you know that piece there, you can put that up for something else. I got other plans for that. But so anyway, you're going to cut that at 8 1/8, and always measure, because my paper, this paper trimmer sometimes, yeah, see, it's a little bit off. It's like a 1/16 of an inch, and I figured that out when I first started using, so I just cut it up a little bit more. But then I'm going to cut a little sliver off. And oh, I know why, because of the band. When it comes around the 12 one, it's not quite, it won't quite meet. So what I do is I just cut it off a little, like cut off a little sliver of it, you know. I just try to cut off just a little bit past that line because of that. I just cut off a little slither piece. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch. So that's what I do to kind of help with that. Okay, now what I do, okay, now most people when they score on this side, okay, of the paper. I score mine up this way. Okay, this is your top. Okay, this is your top of your paper. You got directional paper, you got to watch that. Okay, all right, this is my shorter side that folds in, so I'm going to score from this side over. Okay, Now, if that makes any sense, I hope that makes sense, okay? Now, I'm going to score this right here, and that's what I left is my scoring too. But luckily I got more. Yeah, I have more of those in here, so thank the Lord for that. Okay, so it might not be what I have, I like it, but it'll be fine. So anyway, so this is 2 3/4. You're gonna score. And it's perfectly fine to score on either side of the paper. Most people score on the other side because they like the way that it looks. I like the other crease better, like the way it looks. That's me, that's just me, okay? So I'm gonna score at 2 3/4. Okay. And this is not my favorite scoring too by no means, but right now, this is what's in my face, okay? Now, and then I'm going to move it over to 3 inches, okay? And I'm going to score, I think y'all can see that. I hope y'all are in frame enough to see that. Yeah, my desk is not that big. I'm trying to make it work. Let's see. I'm going to push that up some more. So, the first score was at 2 3/4. And yeah, like I said, I'm not real good at tutorial, but I'm trying. 2 3/4. And then 3 inches. We're going to score that at 3. This is why I don't like that one, because it jumps out of the track. It's not very nice. Okay. And then my next score mark is going to be 8 inches. Okay. Let me see if I can move my little beads off of there too so y'all can see that. I'm trying to move this over to 8. Okay, so that's going to be 8 inches. Can y'all see that whole thing down there? Okay, I'm trying. Okay, 8 inches. And so you're going to score it at 8. Okay, if you want to score, if you want gussets, you don't have to have gussets. Okay, go watch Miss Amber's video, and I will link her down below. Okay. Or you can just do it this way, 8 1/4. Okay, and this is just me. I'm ticky, okay? This is me. Now that part is done, so what I like to do is I like to get it scored first. But now in my table in the kitchen, I always use my side to get my things kind of straight. But I'm gonna try to use the edge of this. Let's see if this works for me like I do on my kitchen table. Because I like the way it gives me a nice clean edge on it. Okay, so let me see if I can make that work out. Okay, so sometimes you can do it here and it'll give you a clean edge. Yeah, it's done pretty good today. Okay, it's done pretty good on camera today. Alright, so let's move this. Okay. And you're just going to, like, you know, use your bone folder to burnish it down. Okay. And then you got to work the other edge. And that's the edge that always kind of gives you trouble because it's hard to get that clean line on it. I always use the edge of my table, but I'm not in there right now, so I don't have an edge of a table in here. But because this edge of my table, when my husband made me this table, it's rounded. So see how it has that little edge? I like to get my edge kind of worked because it's really hard to do a little 1/4 inch gusset. I mean, it kind of wants to give you a hard time. But you just work it on that. Just work it on that scoreboard, y'all. Sometimes you got to show this stuff. Who is the boss? Okay, so it kind of gives you a little, see there, it kind of gives you a little gusset, see? Okay, now, and you don't, like I said, you don't have to do that. Okay, so we're going to work in, and these are really simple. I mean, they're really easy to make. You know, I'm so glad she come up with this. And this kind of reminds me, you'll see I got to work that one too, on that corner. This kind of reminds me of the little notebooks that she used to make with the belly bands on them a long time ago. It's just like a bigger version of that, I think. But such a great idea that she has. I mean, Miss Amber does such a great job, and I'm going to try to tag her in this video because, you know, I said she's like the one I've started following. I've learned so many things from her. You know, and Miss Dean, a lot of the big people that have, I won't say big people like they're big, but like their channels are like a lot of subscribers on them. There's like the two of the main ones, and Carolina. There's some lots of smaller channels too that I enjoy watching. You know, and I'm not nowhere near like other people, but I try to, you know, do things and help people and encourage people. But anyway, so there's my other little gusset. And once I get that part done, I go ahead and take my 1/4 inch rounder, and I go ahead and punch this out real quick because it's going to be good to go. Okay, I just go ahead and do that while I got this done, and that part's done and ready. Now, really, now I like to put the notebook in, and I like to do it from the top down because I know I left a little bit of a gap from the top to the bottom. Okay, and you got to watch your directional, you know, just to make sure you watch that. Okay, and I've already put my score tape because I use this kind of score tape on the back. Okay, and I went ahead and pre-done that. Okay, because of the video. I mean, you know, I'm trying not to be as chatty or super long. You know, it's hard when you got really long videos and people get tired and they get bored and they don't want to watch. But you can always fast forward through my videos. Y'all know I'm chatty. I like to talk, tell you about the day and the things. And but anyway, I got an exciting video I'm going to do tomorrow. But let's see, I got that upside down, so I got to make sure that this is the top of your pad. But y'all know me, I'm gonna put some glue because I don't want because I'm bad about dropping things. So I'm just gonna put some wet glue on mine. You don't have to. You can either do all wet glue or all adhesive, but I do this because 1, I want it to stay good, and 2, and it will stay good with this score tape, but I'm scared I might drop it and then it's gonna be wompy, and then I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I just messed up this whole book. There ain't no turning back once you drop it. There's no pulling up. There's no second chances. Okay, so make sure you flip it back to the top. Okay, and I'm just gonna like eyeball this top piece right here, and hopefully, and this is the tricky part. You got to move so you can see that line because it is, and I do just a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch at that top, and I just kind of try to see that one side over there. And I just keep my hand under that until, and then I'll let it go. See, because it should line up pretty good. You see that? Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll take it and turn it over. And I will just go ahead and burnish down my wet glue and my other adhesive. Okay. And that's some score tape that I get from Amazon. And I use it, and it's really strong, and it's really sturdy. And I didn't do my ATG gun on it because I don't have very much of that tape. Because that tape has gone up, y'all, to $15.99. And I had at Michael's, and it said $12.99. They hadn't changed their sign the other day when I went. I told her, I said, you're gonna give it to me at $12.99 because that's not right. Y'all should have those signs changed. I can't pay. You can get that for less money on Amazon. It's less than that. And I said, that's just crazy. But anyway, so you could go and put a piece of paper there if you wanted to, and maybe a hidden pocket. You don't have to do that. I didn't do that this time. I was trying to not do so much. But this is this little coin envelope. Now I'm going to show y'all what I did, okay? I took it, and I'm going to do it for the video. I took off this little adhesive part, and I just kind of rounded my own corner. And it ain't going to be perfect, you know, and this is paper crafting, and it's supposed to be not looking perfect, I wouldn't think. And I just made my own little doodad thing. Okay, and then I took my hole punch, Okay, I guess I didn't bring that in here either, now did I? Okay, because I thought I had myself together. Ooh. Let me see, y'all. Let me see. Yeah, it has a little hole punch. You see that? Okay, so I am going to find my hole punch. I don't know what I did with my hole punch. Hold on a minute. Blah, blah. I thought I brought it back in here. I mean, I was literally thought I had done everything good. Hold on 1 minute. I'm so sorry. I'm going to need a small one. I have like a tiny one. Let me run grab it. Oh, the one thing I didn't do. Okay, so sorry for dead air. I'm so sorry. I do not like to do that. Yeah, I thought I had everything, y'all. I mean, I had counted my, dotted my I's and my T's, I thought. Well, no, I didn't. Okay, so this is the one. I left it on the table. EK Success, 1 inch. Okay, this is what fits under in this, and it works out perfect, y'all. Look at this. It fits in there. Oh, Lord, I got to turn it this way. Yeah. It fits in there perfect. Okay. I think. Oh, Lord. This ain't the one I used, though, y'all. This is not the punch that I used. It's not. But let me just do it, because I can eyeball it on this side. This is not the one I used, but this is the one we're going to use. Okay, it's okay. We can use that one, too. Okay. But anyway, anything that'll work, that'll punch or fit back in there. But anyway, this is going to go here. And all I do, and like I said, I use that stamp. Okay. And what I do is I just put this glue on here really good, because you're going to be pulling that book. They're going to be pulling that bookmark out of there a lot. Okay. So this is where I'm kind of heavy on this glue, because I don't want that to come apart on these people. Okay. So if I'm selling a product, they're going to get a good quality product. And I'm going to make sure that their stuff hopefully will not come apart. And if it comes apart or they pull it, this means they pulled it. I mean, because this stuff is so light. This is some good glue and stuff that we use on these products. So, but anyway, I just kind of set it down on here. Put it on there. Use your bone folder. And you kind of let it have to dry for a minute. Okay. Then when it dries, and my finger's stuck on that. Okay. And then I'll just put my little pocket on it. Now, I don't normally do this first. And you know I'm totally doing this backwards. But I'm gonna put this on, then I'm going to show you how to do the band next before I do. Usually I do that before. I told y'all I'm telling you, my brain sometimes. But you got to put the glue on here and here. So when you flip it, you got to do here and here. That's for your bottom, okay? Just know you're only going to do the one side that has the rounded corner, because you're just going to round the corners. They're going to be opposite from each other, okay? Okay, and you're just going to stick it. Like I just kind of stick it down there. And just make sure you don't go over your score line. Okay, I'm going to make sure I didn't do that wrong. Nope, I didn't. So you're going to do it like, because you want this side to be open, okay? So you're going to do it on this side, and then, you know, down at the bottom. Because this is going, once this dries, this will kind of flip open. So you're not going to, but you let it dry really good before you put anything in the pockets, okay? Okay. Now, that's totally done until you put your little goodies or whatever in there, right? So we're going to let that be, and I'm going to show you how I do this, okay? Now, yeah. That's the only thing I found about these sweet petunias. is like when you use them a lot over time, this glue bottle will pop out of here a lot, and you have to keep pressing it in. But it don't leak, y'all. It doesn't leak. Okay. So I don't think it really matters like that. It's probably the top. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what I do, I just eyeball it. Okay. But now, some people put their things in the middle. I don't like putting ribbon in the middle of a book. That's me, okay? But what I do when I first start it, okay, I will put it where I want it. So it's going to kind of go under that word right there, you, and that line. And I kind of eyeball something, and I kind of make sure it's straight, and I kind of get me an edge, okay, to first start. That way you don't have to measure, and that you'll know where to stop your glue at. Okay, so I can kind of tell that that's the little line is right there. So all I do is I just put my tape on here. Okay. And I get it on there, you know, straight as I can get it. Let's see where that edge is, because I'll tell you, my eyes of y'all are so bad at night. They have gotten to where, and I'll just kind of put my finger, okay, and I'll just take this here, and I'll just run this glue like this too, because it gives you time. Oh, see, I can see that edge now, like this way. It gives you time to put your things on without that adhesive sticking to it really quick, because once it's on there, it's on there. It's not playing. So flip it back over, and you're just going to take that and you're going to line it up with your edge before you let it go. You just kind of make sure you got wiggling room. Okay, and you just eyeball where you want it. Like, I don't measure. You can, but I'm not going to do that. As if you're really good at looking at things eyeballing, you know, I've learned to do that over time. I used to make draperies a long time ago and do movie theater drapes. So you just get used to doing certain things. Okay, now what I do is I close it up, okay, and I start taking it and I start working my little band around, and I hold it kind of tight because I want it to be, you know, kind of straight. And you just kind of make sure you're a little bit looking even, and you don't let it go, because you want to make sure that it's not going to be too loose, and it's going to get your edges. And see, and this ain't always, like, it's going to rock back and forth a little bit, but it's perfectly fine. It's not hurt. And see, and it gives you enough to get to the edge of that. And if it goes over a little, that's fine. I'd rather it be a little over than not enough to get to. Then you're gonna have to cut this, and that's why I cut that slither, because I'm gonna get those little corners on there so I can see them too. Okay, so what I do is I will take it and I will flip it back around just like that, and I will start adding my glue from there to there. And I don't put anything here. I don't put anything in those little gusset corner pockets. I don't put nothing in there. I keep it out of there. So I kind of eyeball it again, and I can kind of see where to stop it at. Okay, you know, I can kind of tell where the lines are. Okay, and I just turn it this way, and I give it a good once through, because you want it to last them. And then there's another little heel, so I just kind of do it right here beside it. I mean, once you eyeball and stuff, you'll be able to tell it. Okay, and you know about 1/4 of an inch away. You see right there. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the best at explaining this kind of things, but I'm trying. Yeah, I can kind of see. Okay, so we want to make sure. And get that glue on there really good, and just make sure you hold this before you drop it, okay, because you're gonna have to line it up again. So you're gonna have to kind of reach this corner, and you're gonna kind of like line it up, because you don't want it to look too crooked. It looks pretty good. What y'all think? Okay, and you just use your bone folder. and you put it down. And this band, now I cut my bands according to what I'm putting on this part. Okay, in a minute I'll show you that. Okay, so there you go. And then when it comes to here, it's gonna go on there and it's gonna line up, see? Okay, so let's do the same thing. I really hope I'm in frame. Okay, but this is the way I found it to be the easiest to do it. And I just kind of stay away from the little gusset part because I want to make sure that nothing, that it gives it room, especially when they open the book back up, that it gives it room in the back to unfold too. Okay, if that makes any sense. Okay, and then I'll just take this glue and I'll keep it away from about 1/4 of an inch, you know, from that end. And I know I shouldn't be, oh, see, I'm gonna run off and get glue on my mat. I know better than to do this, but I didn't want no yucky stuff. But you could probably see better if I had something under it. But anyway, and then you're gonna make sure you take it, hold of it, and you hold it until you get it to where it needs to kind of line itself up straight, okay? And you just let it go, see? So it's real simple. It's not that bad once you get to doing it. Like, it really isn't that hard. It isn't that bad. And I just kind of let that relax. I don't do gussets on. I don't score this because these things tend to crack, like this kind of paper. So I just let this relax around it, okay? If that makes any sense. Now pull it over and see it it's hanging over a little bit. It's okay. Take your scissors and just cut that off. Just cut that little piece of that band off of there. No big deal. No big deal. Okay. Now, then you're gonna put your little thing, your little sand or whatever, and I just used that little die cut that I had as like a little scallop. And see, I always cut my band a little bit bigger, like 1/4 of an inch maybe, and that's where you get your measurement from, because I go from like 1 1/4 or 1 3/4 to a 2 inch to a 2 1/2. It just depends on this and what you want it to look like. Okay, what you can get to fit. Okay, this is a 3 inch band because this little scallop thing was 2 5/8. Okay, now, and I just take it, put this on here. Okay, because you don't have to do like magnets, because the first one I made, tried magnets and I didn't like it. Okay, I didn't like it at all. Okay, so you know, these won't be getting the magnet, but anyway. But see, and you gotta pop it back in there to make it. But all I do here is just kind of do a little circle motion. It don't have to really kind of go all up in there. You can try to pop it in there if you're good enough to do that before it dries up. But I just kind of circle it really fast because this glue here, this art glue, it does dry pretty quick. And I just, before I drop it, I make sure I have the same amount on both sides and at the top. And you know, you don't have to measure, you don't really have to eyeball. You just kind of look at it. And you just bone folder it, get your bone folder and burnish it down. And look at there, it's coming together. And then on the back. And when I put my seam binding on it, I'm gonna have to cut this piece down some because it's too big. You see, I want some of my orange to show. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my trimmer really fast. And I'm gonna take off probably about right at 1/4 of an inch, I think, on this one. Let's see. Just depends on the mood. Just depends on what you want to do. Okay. And it looks really nice. And then I'm going to take off a little bit off the sides. Let's see. Let's do right at 1/4 on this one. Okay. And then it's going to be like this on the back. It's going to be so cute. Put that paper over there. Okay. Now, before we put this down, we're going to put our seam binding on. And it's real simple. And all I do is I take my score tape and I just kind of put some on there where I kind of want the seam on. It don't have to be square in the middle. It can be wherever you want to do it. Okay, and I'm going to take this piece. It don't really matter what color, but I make sure it's long enough to tie a little bow in the front. Okay, and then I save some. Make sure I have enough for my, what that thing is called, that bookmark thing. Okay, and then we're going to just kind of stick it on. And I always pull it flat. I always pull it flat. I don't like it to be crinkled up in the back part of it. Okay. Okay, that looks to be about okay. Okay. And then I have this other color. And then you're going to take your ATG gun. And you're going to put this over the middle. You don't have to go all the way to the edges. I prefer not to do that. You know, but that's me. That's me. Okay, so let's measure out. Make sure we got plenty, because okay, I'm going to stick it down. And then measure out this side. Make sure I'm going to have enough left over for my, all right, I'm going to pull this part back up. Because I got to make sure I have enough left over. I'm going to pull this out just a little bit more because I want to make sure I have enough for my bookmark thing, y'all. Okay, because I'm at the end. I got to get me some more seam binding. Okay, this here will come back up. It won't hurt it. You just got to be kind of careful with it. Okay, now let's make sure we have enough. I mean, I am literally like, we're just gonna have to eyeball this. Let's see, I need a piece big enough to put on my bookmark. Okay, so once that's on, I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna put my stuff over it. Double my ATG gun. Okay. And I'm going to put me some glue. Okay, really quick. And try to stay away from your edges because you don't want it seeping out all over your things, because then you got to get your paper towel and wipe it off, and it takes more time to do that. And then I just kind of make sure this is kind of out of the way and flat. Then I'll just kind of line it up the best I can. And I will kind of just drop it on there. Okay, and this is a great way to add ribbon on places that you can't actually get it. If you got other ideals or other things in the front that you can't actually put it under if it's folding over the top of each other, this is a good way to add your ribbon. And see, and you got plenty of ribbon to tie your little bow. And then all we got left to do, I think that's dry enough. You put your little stuff in your pocket. Okay, and I didn't bring my, so that's something else I didn't bring. I didn't bring my paper clip to put that on, but that's okay. We don't have to do that. I can just take one from another book, actually. This goes on the front of this, like that. And the bookmark is really easy. So I have a piece of that. And let's cut a little piece. Okay, and you're just gonna take it in the middle. I just kind of twist it. If not, you can push it through with your little thing. You know, that's another thing you can use to, if it's hard to get it through, just hold it when you get it there and take your little pokey thing that you get. Those little things, I got those from the Dollar Tree. Okay, and I just poke it up through there, y'all. Yep. And I just, now I don't know if that's even. I'm gonna make sure that's even. That didn't look very even. Okay, I'm gonna make sure. And I just grab it, all 4 of those pieces, and pull them through with my fingers, and I just start working it, y'all. Yeah, I just work it. Look at there, it makes it so pretty. Now you can leave this. I think Miss Amber like left hers up here, and she used the bookmark thing paper clip over here. Okay, But like I said, I do things the way I like to do them. Okay, and that's what we should do, And we get inspiration and ideas from other people and each other, and I just love that about this paper crafting. People, are just wonderful, and I don't care. You can copy my stuff to the T. I do not care. It doesn't bother me any. Okay. You're welcome to. That's what I do my YouTube channel for, is to try to inspire people. Okay, so I just tighten a little bow, and I'll just put it in my little pocket. And you got and like I said, I've got that coffee stamp set coming in, and I was gonna put a little coffee stamp on it. I thought it would be so cute to do that, but of course it's late getting here. But anyway, so this is our cute little, whatever you want to call it, book, readers, folio, whatever you want to call it. I just love it. I think it's adorable. Get some pens, make some matching pens, get some pens to match it. I have some other pens in my stash that I had thought about using for it. And, so I don't know. I may not. You can cut your little ends off if you don't like the way that's looking, if it's looking too long or whatever. But anyway, that is the end of that. And I pray y'all have a good night, and I hope to see y'all soon. And I just love this one too. This one is so pretty, and this is the one I just took the paper clip off of. I don't guess I brought that in here either. There was actually 3 things I forgot to get, but these are so pretty, y'all, so pretty. So we'll take another one. We'll borrow it from over there and put it on here. So we'll have it, because that way it'll make it real pretty picture. So anyway, but I will have an Ollie's haul tomorrow. My husband went and got me some stuff, and I'll tell you the story about all of that tomorrow on the video. I don't know if I'm gonna have a chance to get this loaded and get back on here, because I have to take my videos off my phone because my iPhone don't let me do multiples at one time. It's so stubborn. But anyway, so I pray y'all have an awesome weekend, a great night, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please give me a like and a thumbs up, whatever you call it. Subscribe to my channel, push the little bell, so you can get more of my videos. I got a lot of ideas and things coming. Like, I got a craft fair in December, so I'm really going to be pushing it hard to get a lot of things made, projects finished, and all that kind of thing. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you for coming to my channel, hanging out with me, and remember, I love you, but God loves you more. Bye guys, see you soon.